Hi, welcome to Bang a Yui. This is episode 7. I'm your host, Angelina Asante. Today, I'm very excited to welcome my friend and new debut author, Raquel V. Reyes. Hi, Raquel.
Hi, how are you? I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. So nice to see your face. The audience will not see it. Just picture it. She's super cute. Believe me.
Well, you can see my mug on my website. There is sometimes I click on it and I'm like, oh wow, that's really too large. like all of these headshots should be a lot smaller.
Well, and I know, like, even now, like, I know I was always told to put the camera above your face, so yeah, like right. It minimizes, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, Raquel won't judge me.
I won't.
So what's going on now? I haven't seen you since Sleuth Fest, and we'll get into that a little bit more. If you're a writer or aspiring writer, Sleuth Fest is where you want to be. But this year, unfortunately, because of COVID, we're missing one of our favorite things to do as mystery writers, and that is gather together in person. But what's the deal? You got a big book deal since I've seen you.
Yes. So I have signed with Crooked Lane Books, and my debut culinary cozy will be out October 12th of this year. I'm very excited. Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
so
yes.
that's actually, they're good. They're pretty well known, like in the business. That's a pretty big publisher, and that's pretty quick. Why is that so fast? I heard everybody was backed up.
I think that publishing was backed up because they had issues actually making books. So like the story that I read in Publisher Weekly was that I guess there were like maybe 5 companies that actually printed books, and then 2 of them went out of business for whatever reason, or conglomerate, I don't know the exact details, right. But so they went from 5 to 3 or something like that. And that's what kind of caused the backlog, and how come some books were pushed back in publication. But I think all of that's been remedied. And actually, I think that, this quarantining has probably been good for writers and editors and so forth and so on, because, they're kind of forced to not be social and they really have to focus on their work. So I know a lot of people who have gotten book deals this last year in 2020. 2020 was a good year for a lot of people, a lot of my fellow writer people who got deals. So,
well, I know Michael, we have a mutual friend. Michael told us, he's an agent, and he told me that he's like, oh my God, I won't stop. Like, he just said there was just an avalanche of book coming in, because anybody who ever wanted to write a book, he said, was writing books last year. So he said, so I'm actually really thrilled for you, because I thought everything was going to be way behind publication.
Yeah, I think Crooked Lane Books is, they seem to really have their system down. Like, they know how long things take. They're, like, I get this email and it's like, okay, we're going to talk cover design. Okay, at this time, we're going to talk this time. I mean, I feel really good that they're going to be able to get it out. Yeah. I fingers crossed, I don't think it's going to be pushed back. They've met all of their deadlines that they were supposed to meet. So I'm hopeful.
And just in time for Christmas, right? Because I don't know if the listeners know, but the majority of the books are sold in between September and December. So that's really amazing. That's great timing for you.
Well, and also one of the things is it's Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month is September 15th to October 15th. Oh, so nice. I actually fall within that. So that'll also kind of be a little bit of a promotion that I might be able to reach out into those markets and do some promotion in that.
That's great. So it's going to be for sale ahead of time, right? I'm sure you're taking pre-launch.
Oh, pre-orders. Yes. Right. So I'm, as soon as I get the cover and can do the cover reveal, which is like a big thing for all writers. Yeah. Not just mystery writers, but like YAs and middle grades and everything, like the cover reveal. So I think once we do the cover reveal, then I'll put up the pre-order link so that people can pre-order it.
Okay, cool. Now I will tell the audience this, it's very hard to get a book deal. because everybody wants to call themselves an author, myself included. But to actually get an agent who wants to represent you and from a great, well-known, very reputable publishing house, how did this happen?
So, I'm kind of like the 10-year overnight success story, that they talk about, right? So I've been plugging away for 10 years or more, right? And you meet a lot of people and you talk to a lot of people. And so it was really, I had met this editor from Sleuth Fest, right? And we had kind of talked about my book. And I'd sent her the first 3 chapters. I hadn't finished anything, right? And she's like, oh, I like it, but I think this and this needs to change, blah, 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 right? And so then she said, basically, which is what all editors say, when you're finished with it, let me see it, right? Everybody wants a completed manuscript, end of story, right?
Wink, wink. We normally joke about that. Wink, wink. I'll look at it when it's done.
Right. So anyway, so I kind of went cold on this manuscript because I wasn't seeing representation in the cozy mystery genre. And I was just tired of no's. You know what I'm saying? Right. I was like, I'm not even going to try anymore. You say that you want a cozy that's set in a city, fine. You say that you want a cozy, that has a Latina in it, fine. But then I wasn't seeing anything. And agents and editors, they all deal with comps. So they want a comparable title to help sell your book, right? So I was like, so I'd given up on it, right? So that was like 3 years ago. And then I was having a conversation with another author friend on social media. And the editor that I had met at Sleuth Fest kind of popped into my DMs or so forth. And she's like, hey, whatever happened to that script you sent me?
Oh, wow.
Right. And so I was like, blah, 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 well, you think the market's ready for me, blah, blah, blah. And so we started this conversation. And that conversation got me motivated. I finished the book. And an agent that I had also been talking to through some, just having met people, I was like, hey, you want to take a look at this? I've got a publisher interested, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's how it happened. So it just kind of happened because I put the hours in, like I put the work in and the years in, and you make all these contacts and connections, and you don't know if any of them are gonna, pan out. And for me, they happen to have panned out.
Well, I'm going to say something about you, Raquel, and that is, I don't even remember. I think we met each other 4 or 5 years ago. Like, it's all a blur. Yeah. COVID has like totally messed up my timeline. I have no idea. I don't even know who I am anymore. But you have always been someone who, you need to be with this person. You should talk to her. I've met so many people through you because you always are looking to connect people. You're a connector. Yeah. And I think that this is kind of like, your reward for being who you are, trying to connect people. So I'm
are you going woo woo on me,
Angelina? No, I'm not going to say the universe is, guiding this journey. It might be, I don't know, but this is your connector. So I think this is it's your time now.
I hope so. I kind of feel like it is my time. And because, it was weird, like, right when this was happening, I also got 3 other close around this time. I sold 3 short stories, or 3 short stories got accepted into things. So, I'd had this huge long dry spell, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, 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 all of this stuff happened. And yeah, that feels good. That and it kind of keeps motivating you to keep sitting in the chair and writing, because that's the only way the book gets finished. Just if anybody wants to be a writer, you have to sit in a chair and put words into the computer. That's the only way it happens.
Yep. And you're saying plenty of words trying to get it done too.
Oh my goodness. So listen to this. So I use Grammarly, it's like whatever,
the greatest thing ever
program, right? So do you get the emails from them that tell you how well you done for the week?
Yes, but I'm guessing mine better than yours because you're awfully giggly.
Well, I find them hilarious, right? I find them hilarious because it tells you how many words you've written or
how many
something.
Unique words too. Yeah.
Oh, well, the unique words crack me up.
Yeah.
The unique words crack me up because it says I have 90% more unique words than everyone else. And I'm like, really?
You should use that in conversation.
I just think it's because I write I have phrases in Spanish and Spanglish. So I'm like, oh, I guess those are unique words for you.
They are unique.
But yeah, no, sometimes, Grammarly cracks me up because it's always the same mistakes, the same grammar mistake. I haven't learned my lesson.
You will.
I have a comma splice always.
Yes.
And compound words are hard for me.
Yep. I do notice now, like I am starting to catch myself. Not always. Yeah. Like I'm working on my second cancer book. And like, I was in there right before I got on this call and I noticed, here I am with the semicolon and it's correcting me. And, it's kind of funny, but you'll notice, you'll start to, I mean, you're still young. You're like a virgin right now. I mean, won't be long. You'll be, cause is this a series?
Yes, it is a series.
Oh, good. Okay. Now when you're telling me about this book, I'm visualizing like Hallmark in my head. Is that something kind of like, cause cozies are pretty clean, right?
Well, cozy mysteries, all of the violence happens off page.
Okay.
And the sex happens off page. And it's not like one night stand sex. It's like in a committed relationship kind of sex. So in my story, Miriam Quinones, she is a food anthropologist. She's moved from New York to Miami. She happened to have been born in Miami, but she's been away for college, getting her PhD, et cetera, et cetera. So she moves back to Miami with her husband and their 4-year-old son. And I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, well, anyway, I think my point of my story was that in my story that she's in a married situation. So any like little romantic-y stuff I do is kind of very Hallmarky. Cute.
Oh, nice.
And then I allude to the fact that maybe they were adults and,
that's good. Because I have to tell you, like, as a reader, to me, I just gloss over that. Like when I see it's going there, I'm just like, oh, I mean, I don't know. Even like watching TV shows, here I am with the forward button, because to me, I think that's lazy writing when you're putting like tons of sex. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't want to see it like,
an erotic,
I don't know, like
novel.
To me, I guess, I mean, you're not going to catch me reading too many of those, I'll tell you. But to me, I'm just like, oh, move the story forward. Like that doesn't, I don't know. To me, I'm really weird about that stuff. I don't like it, Are
you a prude? Is that what you're saying here?
I'm a little bit of a prude. Maybe if like the lead actress looked like me and maybe if the lead was Bradley Cooper, maybe I'd be like, okay with it. But I just don't want to watch it. I don't want to hear it. My husband doesn't listen to this show, right? I don't think so. I'll be okay.
No, definitely cozies definitely. Cozies are about the puzzle. You're reading it for the setting and the characters, because most cozies are going to be series. So you want to fall in love with the setting. You want to fall in love with those characters because you're going to live with them over a series of several books, right?
Right.
And then the fun of reading it is the puzzle. Like, are you picking up the clues? Have you guessed who is it? It's a whodunit. At the end, you want justice to be served.
So now here's the question. Forgive my ignorance because everyone else does. But what is a forensic anthropologist? What is that?
No, she is a food anthropologist.
What is that?
So food anthropology is where culture and food meet. Okay. So in her case, she studies the intersection of foodways of the African diaspora of the Caribbean. So her main concentration is on the Caribbean islands. So,
Okay.
you know,